Game 3 between the Heat and Celtics today. Miami leading the series 2-0. It's the 9th time the Celtics are in a 2-0 hole, and only once have they come back to win the series. That was against the Lakers in the '69 finals, a series which is actually germane to this discussion. Here's Rachel Nichols.
The Celtics say the 3-day break between games should help them rebound in this series, not only letting them heal from minor injuries, but also giving them a little inspiration after Hall of Famer John Havlicek stopped by one of their workouts. Hanging over the Celtics practice court are the banners of the team's past championships. So Glenn Davis asked Havlicek which was his favorite. Havlicek told Davis it's the one from 1969, when the Celtics came back from an 0-2 deficit to beat the Lakers. Davis told me that conversation gave him all the motivation he'll need for tonight's Game 3, saying, "They did it, we can do it. It'll take our best punch, but we have that in us." In Boston, I'm Rachel Nichols, ESPN.
As you might expect with the Celtics, they play better when they get a little time to rest themselves. Some older players on that team. They do expect to get Shaq back for Game 3. Boston, 7-1 this season with 3 or more days off. The Heat, just 5-3 in those same scenarios.
Oh, yeah, Heat Celtics, Game 3. Lakers down 3-0. Will the Celtics be 2? They will if these two have anything to say about it. Let's go from Beantown. The daddy was back. Shaquille O'Neal only played 5 minutes since February, came off the bench, and in late in the first quarter in the post, reverse layup is good, but already limping again. 2 points in 8+ minutes, a non-factor in this game. Second quarter, Heat up 1, and there's D. Wade. How about the sidestep pass? Rajon Rondo hits the baseline jumper, zigzagging his way to free himself for this jumper. He finished with 23 and 7, and Miami led by 2 at half. To the third we go, and the C's came roaring out. Third quarter now up 5. Rondo blocked by LeBron, but back out to Paul Pierce, and that's the truth. Part of a 16-4 run to start the second half. Celtics up by 8. Later in the third, now up by 10. Rondo guarding Wade, knocks the ball loose, and then falls down awkwardly here. We want to warn you, this is a graphic replay you were about to see. Rondo is in a tremendous amount of pain. Look away if you do not want to see what happens to his left elbow. He falls on the court, and his arm bends awkwardly here. It ended up being a dislocated left elbow.
Thanks for the warning.
Helped off the court. Series over, right? They don't have Rondo anymore. Later in the third, Celtics up 8. Pierce drives, lays it in, gets fouled. He was really emotional in Game 1. This was the right kind of emotion. He had 27, and then, what is this? Rondo returns to a standing ovation. He's just going to watch, right? He watches Pierce find Garnett. 28 and 18 for him for the ticket. More than he had in the first 2 games combined. What is this? Rondo's in the game, obviously playing with one arm here. He would barely touch the ball with his left hand, grab the rebound with one arm. He is obviously favoring it, but there he is going on the floor, trying to get the ball, landing on the left arm. And how about a steal with the left hand? Finishes with the slam at the other end. Incredible effort from Rondo, using the injured left arm to get a steal, converts the easy bucket. Pierce is going wild. Celtics have this game in hand. Crowd's in a frenzy. They're up by 18. Over 6 minutes to go. They're still up 15. And it's Rondo in transition. Hits the right-handed lay-in. Celtics up 17. They win by 16 with one arm. He had 11 assists, and so Boston shows tremendous resiliency. Rondo's unbreakable. They're alive in this series. Miami's big 3, 15 of 40, 41, 44 points. Chris Bosh, a total no-show, 1 for 6, 6 points in 30 minutes. Boston's crew, 26 of 51, 70 points. But actually, the story was Boston's big 3.5.
I knew right away something was wrong when I went down, but, thank goodness, thank God for Kevin, because I was having trouble breathing. I was worried about my elbow, but I was having trouble breathing. I just kept hearing him tell me to breathe. I mean, you may see me hold my arm, but I'm not going to use an excuse. If D. West is out there the same way, that's how we play. It's our mentality. We show up, Monday night and we're on the court and we're playing. Don't ask me how I feel. I'm going to play regardless. I'm not going to use an excuse, and we're a no-excuse team.
If you're not going to play, you won't be suited up.
This is a championship team. They play with that championship DNA that they have. We can learn a lot from the effort that they put forward tonight. So, we understand that it wasn't going to be easy, especially winning it here. But we come back Monday and we try to do it again. We try to learn from our mistakes. And
All right, so we got a series, and in the 3 games the Heat have played in Boston this season, including the playoffs, they have scored 80, then 82, and then on Saturday, 81 points, 3 of their 4 fewest points in a road game this season. It happened in Boston. On the road against the rest of the NBA, they averaged over 100 points per game. Stuart Scott and the ABC Countdown crew, they have more.
Before this Miami Heat series, the Boston Celtics had been in 97 playoff series in franchise history. They lost the first 3 games of a series only 5 times. They avoid making it 6. Stuart Scott, Michael Wilbon, John Barry, Hall of Famer Irvin Magic Johnson. How did they beat the Heat? How did they not go down in an 0-3 hole, Magic?
Stuart, it was all about Boston Celtic defense. In the first 2 games, Dwayne Wade in Miami, Dwayne Wade averaged 33 points. LeBron James was averaging 28 points. But in game 3, Dwayne Wade gets 23. LeBron James only gets 15 points. And JB, I thought they had another star. His name was Chris Bosh, but he only scored 6 points.
It was Joel Anthony. Oh, the other star. He played great, but you're right. I mean, I thought the defense was terrific, particularly in the second half. 35 points for the Miami Heat. Just 19 free throw attempts for the Heat, averaging 34 free throw attempts coming in. But I'm going looking at Boston. Offensively, it was Kevin Garnett. He had to get the better of the matchup with Chris Bosh. He more than did that. I mean, he was terrific. 28 points, 18 boards. He established himself in the paint early. Instead of picking and popping for jump shots, he got in the paint. He finally got his first 2 free throws of the series early and established himself, and he was the difference in this game.
You guys covered all the strategic points. Now, everybody in New England is going to remember this game for another reason. Rajon Rondo coming back after that grotesque injury to his elbow and forearm. I mean, seriously, it looked like he could be out for forever. He comes back with his sleeve on, and with his right hand is better than some guys with 2 arms and hands playing that position. That was an amazing thing. But I'm still going to think about Miami and what happens if they, Irvin, don't get that running game going? What happens if they have no transition game? 5 points in transition is all Miami had in game 3. We're still talking about, as we did much of the season, the theme of half-court offense. Can Miami play it at a playoff level? Haven't seen it yet.
3, not as good as 4, even when it's a big 4 and a big 3. Just listen to these numbers. Boston's big 4 combined 76 points, 29 rebounds, 21 assists. Miami's big 3, 44 points, 18 rebounds, 12 assists. The numbers never lie.